Today we are going to start the next unit, that is the concepts of stability and the root locus. So in the first two units we have discussed how the control system will be there, what are the different types of control systems, and how you are going to write the transfer function of the system. And in the second unit, if we are going to give the different inputs for the system, how the responses is going to be changing, how the system is going to be responding for different inputs. Okay, and what will be the actual response in the time domain. Okay, whether the system will be the stable or not. If you want to bring the system as a stable, which type of controllers you are going to be used. So we have discussed all these things in the first unit and the second unit. So in this unit we are going to discuss the concepts of stability. So when the system is going to be the stable system, actually what is meant by stability? Okay, so for as a control system, when you are saying that the system is a stable system. Okay, so all this is going to be discussed in the third unit. Okay, see here, what is the definition of the stability? So that the stability is nothing but you will say that stability is nothing but a stable condition. That is nothing but a stable condition of any system. You can refer it as a stability. So here the definition of the stability, the term stability is referred to the stable working condition of a control system. Okay, you are going to term that one as a stability. Okay, so every working system is designed to be stable. Every working system is designed to be stable. సో ప్రతి ఒక్క సిస్టమ్ని మనం ఏం చేస్తున్నాము అంటే స్టేబుల్ అవుట్పుట్ అనేది రావాలి, అలాగే స్టేబుల్గా ఉండేటట్టు మనం డిజైన్ చేసుకుంటాము అన్నమాట. ఓకేనా? Okay, so for this given stable system, the response or output is predictable, finite and stable for a given input. That is nothing but for any changes in input or any changes in the system parameters. సో ఏదైతే మనం సిస్టమ్ డిజైన్ చేస్తున్నామో దట్ డిజైన్డ్ సిస్టమ్ హ్యాస్ టు బి స్టేబుల్, రైట్? So if it is a stable system, then what is the response? The response is the predictable response, and that response is a finite response, and you are saying that the response is a stable for any given input. So whatever the input may be, you are giving the input. So based upon the input, the output is going to be changing, and that output is going to be as a finite, that is nothing but a stable output. Okay, like this you are defining the stability of a system. So we will have different definitions of the stability. So see here, in the first point, what you are saying, a system is a stable if its output is bounded for any bounded input. So if you are giving some input, so based upon the input, if the output is changing and the output is going to be as a stable, you are saying that the system has a stable. So that is for the first definition. What is the second one? A system is asymptotically stable. A system is asymptotically stable. So asymptotically stable is nothing but what is the definition? If in the absence of the input, the output tends towards zero irrespective of initial conditions. You are saying that the system is a asymptotically stable. It means nothing but if you are not giving any input also, if the output is reaching towards the zero, that is nothing but the equilibrium state. Okay, then you are saying that type of system is nothing but a asymptotically stable system. Okay, you are not doing any controlling action, or you are not going to do any feedback analysis like that for making the error as a zero, but bring automatically that if the output is going to be becoming as a zero, then the type of system is nothing but a asymptotically stable system. Okay, and what is the third one? A system is stable if for a bounded disturbing input signal, the output vanishes ultimately as t approaches to infinity. It means nothing but for bounding disturbing input signal. So if the input has some disturbances, so if the output is vanishing is nothing but you won't have any output. Okay, based upon the disturbing input. Okay, output is vanishing means as t tends to infinity, you are saying that the system has a stability system. Okay, And what is unstable system? 4 point. A system is unstable when it is becoming as unstable if for any bounding disturbing input signal the output is of infinite amplitude or oscillatory. It means nothing but you will have some output here because of the disturbing input, and that output also you will have as a infinite amplitude or oscillatory output. Then you are saying that the system as a unstable system. Okay. And what is the fifth one? For a bounded input signal, if the output has constant amplitude oscillations, then the system may be stable or unstable. Then the system may be stable or unstable for limited constraints. It means nothing but if you are giving some input signal, you will obtain some output, and if that output is having some constant amplitude oscillations, it means nothing but the output is having some oscillations but which are not disturbing, to the output. Okay, it is having some constant amplitude oscillations, then it means nothing but the output is of so if the system output is stable for all variations of its parameters, so then you are saying that the system is an absolutely stable system. And if the system output is stable for limited range of variations, so it is not going to be varied for all variations. Limited range of variations అంటే ఏంటమ్మా, ఏదో కొన్ని వేరియేషన్స్కి మాత్రమే మీ అవుట్పుట్ అనేది స్టేబుల్ సిస్టమ్ అంటున్నారు అంటే దెన్ యు ఆర్ సేయింగ్ దట్ ద సిస్టమ్ ఈజ్ ఏ కండిషనల్లీ స్టేబుల్ సిస్టమ్. Okay. So these are the different types of stable systems, and you are going to define your stability. So what are the stabilities you have? One is stable, asymptotically stable, and unstable system, limitedly stable system, okay, absolutely stable system, and conditionally stable system. These are the different types of stable systems you have. Okay, so see here now, if the response of the system, impulse response of a system, if impulse response, already you know that what is the impulse response of a system, right? So bounded input and bounded output. So how you are getting the bounded input and bounded output? So you are going to see this topic. Okay, so if M of S is the closed loop transfer function of a system, C of S is the output or response in time domain, and R of S is the input in S domain, then you are saying that how you are going to define the transfer function, Laplace transform of output by Laplace transform of input. That is nothing but M of S is equal to C of S by R of S. So response or output in S domain, C of S is equal to M of S into R of S, right? So if you are going to convert it into time domain, what is C of t? C of t is nothing but Laplace inverse of C of S. Input in time domain is nothing but R of t is equal to Laplace inverse of R of S, right? So for an impulse input, R of t is equal to delta of t, R of S is equal to Laplace of delta of t, that is nothing but 1. And now if impulse response, that is nothing but Laplace inverse of C of S, that is nothing but you can write it as C of S is nothing but M of S into R of S. So Laplace inverse of M of S into R of S is nothing but R of S is 1 now, so substitute that R of S into 1. Okay, so what is Laplace inverse of M of S now? That is nothing but M of t. Okay, now see here. So the impulse response of a system is a inverse Laplace transform of a system transfer function. So you can say that C of t is equal to now, according to convolution theorem. So I think you have all studies the convolution theorem in the mathematics, right? So based on the convolution theorem, now you are writing the response C of t is equal to M of t into R of t. Okay, so you know the convolution symbol, right? This is star mark. So mathematically, according to convolution operation, now you can write C of t as C of t is equal to integral of minus infinity to plus infinity M of tau into R of t minus tau into dt. So this is the actually you are writing the mathematical expression for the impulse response of c of t according to convolution theorem. Okay, now how you are going to define the bounded input and bounded output stability. You are saying that bounded input and bounded output, right? So we have already discussed the bounded input and bounded output signal, right? So based on the bounded input and bounded output, you are having the stability, instability and limitedly stable system, right? So first of all, what is meant by bounded input and bounded output? Okay, so in a relaxed system, if it is a Bebo stability, that is nothing but if every bounded input results in a bounded output, that is nothing but finite input ఇస్తున్నాము అంటే ఏమొస్తుందా, finite output వస్తుంది. అంటే according to convolution you are writing that response c of t is equal to for a relaxed system. ఇందాక మనం ఏం చెప్పుకున్నాం, it is not a relaxed system. According to convolution theorem you have represented the integral limits. Now you are saying that if it is a relaxed system, because you are defining it as a bounded input bounded output stability system, so that means nothing but relaxed system. So c of t ఏమవుతుంది ఇప్పుడు, integral of 0 to infinity m of tau r of t minus tau into dt. Okay, so according to that, now there exists a constant. If the input r of t is bounded, then there exists a constant a1 such that r of t is less than or equal to a1 less than infinity. So now on taking the absolute value on both sides, we get c of t is equal to integral of 0 to infinity m of tau r of t minus tau into dt. అవునా? So now this can also be written as so c of t is less than or equal to integral of 0 to infinity m of tau r of t minus tau into dt. That is nothing but you can write it as c of t less than or equal to integral 0 to infinity m of tau into a1 into t. How you are writing it? So you are representing it as a constant a1. You are representing it as a constant a1. Okay, so if your a1 is replaced, then your formula is changed like this. Okay, if the output c of t is bounded, then there exists a constant now a2. So what is the value? C of t less than or equal to a2 less than infinity, right? So finally you are writing it as a1 into integral of 0 to infinity m of tau into dt. So c of t, you know c of t value, so substitute that c of t here. Okay, so that is the value a1 integral of 0 to infinity m of tau into dt less than or equal to a2 less than or equal to infinity. So that is the equation we got here. Okay, so from this above condition, it is satisfied that integral of 0 to infinity m of tau into dt is less than infinity. So hence for bounded output, you can write it as integral 0 to infinity m of t to dt less than infinity. What is m of t actually? You are saying m of t is nothing but what is m of t? It is nothing but a closed loop transfer function, right? So your transfer function got the value which is less than infinity. Therefore we conclude that the system with impulse response m of t is a Bebo stable if and only if the impulse response is absolutely integrable from the limits from 0 to infinity. So response అనేది మీకు 0 to infinity మీకు ఇంటిగ్రల్ అవుతుంది అంటే then you are saying that the system is a stable system. Okay, like that you are defining the Bebo stability. Okay, so what is the next topic? Location of poles on the S-plane for stability. S-plane for stability. So you know that according to closed loop transfer function m of s is nothing but transfer function, right? How you are expressing it is the ratio of two polynomials in s. What are the two polynomials? The two polynomials are nothing but numerator and denominator, right? So the denominator polynomial is nothing but you are saying it as a characteristic equation. So this is already we have discussed. సో ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ ఫంక్షన్ని మీరు రిప్రజెంట్ చేసేటప్పుడు న్యూమరేటర్ అండ్ డినామినేటర్లో మీకు పాలినామియల్స్ ఉన్నాయి. న్యూమరేటర్ polynomial and denominator polynomial. By using the numerator polynomial you are defining the zeros. From the denominator polynomial you are defining the poles. So already we have discussed this one, right? So what is that equation? You have represented the equation like this, right? So m of s is equal to, so type of the system మనం చెప్పేటప్పుడు చెప్పాను మన what is m of s? M of s is equal to, so if you are representing these polynomials in the form of zeros and poles, s plus z1 into s plus z2 into s plus z3 and so on, s plus zm by s plus p1, s plus p2, s plus p3 and so on up to s plus p1 pm, right? You are writing like this. So for this characteristic equation you are if you are going to apply the partial fraction expansion for these poles, okay, you are writing the equation as like this. So m of s is equal to a1 rasama a1 by s plus p1 plus a2 by s plus p2 plus a3 by s plus p3 and so on up to an by s plus pn, okay. So where you know that p1 p2 p3 and so on up to pn are the poles, right? So based upon the poles, okay, based on the poles, now you are giving the stability of the given system. So if the poles may be lying on the origin, or it may be lying on the imaginary axis, or it may be lying on the right hand side of the s plane, or it may be lying on the left hand side of the s plane. So this is very important, all of you listen. So now you know the poles here. So this is s plane, what you are saying, okay, this is pluses minuses. If you are going to define here plus j sj minus sj, right? So the poles which you have got, okay, that pole may be lying on the origin, or it may be lying on the right hand side of the s plane, or it may be lying on the left hand side of the s plane, or on the imaginary axis. So based upon the location of the poles, now you are defining the stability of the system. Okay, how you are going to define the stability of the system now? Based upon the location of the poles here. Okay, so the impulse response is given by inverse Laplace transform of m of s. Inverse Laplace transform of m of s. Okay, so now see here how you are going to define your actual responses. So if it is a transfer function, okay, if the poles which you have got m of s is equal to, if you have the poles like this, a by s plus a, it means nothing but s plus a అని ఇలా రిప్రజెంట్ చేసాం కదమ్మా. అంటే పోల్ అనేది మనకి ఎలా ఉంటుంది చూడండి, s plus a is nothing but the characteristic equation. s plus a is equal to 0 అయిందంటే s ఏమవుతుంది, మైనస్ a అవుతుంది. అంటే మైనస్ a అంటే ఎక్కడ ఉంటుంది, లెఫ్ట్ హ్యాండ్ సైడ్ ఆఫ్ ది s ప్లేన్లో ఉంటుంది మనకి, అవునా? If it is lying on the left hand side of the s plane, okay, now the impulse response in the time domain is nothing but you are writing it as m of t is equal to Laplace inverse of a by s plus a, అవునా? సో 1 by s plus a అని ఎలా రాస్తామా, e power minus at. So it is nothing but impulse response which you have got is exponentially decaying, which is exponentially decaying. So if it is exponentially decaying, you are saying that the system is a stable system. Okay, if the pole you have like this, a by s minus a by s minus a is nothing but చూడండి పోల్ అనేది ఎలా ఉంటుంది మనకి ఇప్పుడు s minus a is equal to 0, అంటే s is equal to ఏమైందమ్మా plus a. Plus a is nothing but the root on positive real axis, అవునా? If the root is lying on the positive real axis, okay, what is m of t here? Sorry, it is not m of t ఏమవుతుందమ్మా, Laplace inverse of a by s minus a అవుతుంది. అంటే a into e power plus at, అవునా? So now you are getting the response which is exponentially increasing, increasing is nothing but you are saying that the system is a unstable system. Okay, So if you have the roots like this, so a by, it is nothing but the complex poles. Okay, a plus jb, a minus jb ఇలా ఉంది అంటే ఏమంటున్నామో మనం కాంప్లెక్స్ పోల్స్, కాంప్లెక్స్ కాంజుగేట్ రూట్స్ అంటున్నాం. అవునా, కాంప్లెక్స్ కాంజుగేట్ రూట్స్ ఉన్నాయి అంటే ఓకేనా. సో దెన్ ఇఫ్ యు ఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు డ్రా దిస్ ఓకే ఆన్ ది ఎస్ ప్లేన్, యూ విల్ గెట్ ది రూట్స్ లైక్ దిస్, ప్లస్ జేబీ అండ్ మైనస్ జేబీ హియర్ అండ్ మైనస్ ఏ హియర్. మనకి రూట్స్ ఏమవుతామా ఇక్కడ మనకి ఎస్ ప్లస్ ఏ ప్లస్ జేబీ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు 0 చేయండి, ఏమవుతుంది ఎస్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు మైనస్ ఏ మైనస్ జేబీ, అంటే మైనస్ ఏ మనకి రూట్ ఇక్కడ. ఓకే, సో మైనస్ ఏ అండ్ ప్లస్ జేబీ, అండ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ నథింగ్ బట్ ఇట్ ఈస్ లయింగ్ ఆన్ హియర్. ఓకే, like this if you have the complex conjugate roots that is lying on the S plane. Now if you are going to apply the limit for this inverse Laplace transform for this, so m of t ఏమవుతుంది, Laplace inverse of okay a by s plus a plus jb plus a conjugate by s plus a minus jb. Then if you are applying the Laplace inverse transform, what will be the equation now, a into e power minus of a plus jb into t, that is one equation, and a conjugate e power minus of a minus jb into t, that is one equation, right. So రెండింటిని యాడ్ చేస్తే ఏమొస్తుందా, 2 into a into e power minus at cos bt, cos of bt, that is the formula. So for this now you are getting the response. That response is nothing but impulse response is damped sinusoidal oscillation. So if you have the dampings, see here, so it is a, if you are having the dampings, but those are nothing but the decreasing dampings, right. Those are nothing but the decreasing dampings, and it means nothing but it is reaching the stability, right. So you are saying that the system is a stable system, that the system is a stable system. Okay, so now what is this fourth case? Now if you have the roots like this, a by s minus a plus jb plus a conjugate s minus a minus jb. Okay, then you are having the complex conjugate roots on the right halves of the s plane. So for this if you are going to apply the inverse Laplace transform, you will get 2 into e power at, 2 into e power at into cos bt. So it is nothing but exponentially increasing sinusoidal, exponentially increasing sinusoidal. అంటే ఏమవుతుందో మనకి యాక్చువల్గా స్టేబుల్ నుంచి అన్స్టేబుల్కి వెళ్తుంది చూడండి, మీకు మ్యాగ్నిట్యూడ్ ఏమవుతుంది బేస్కి ఇక్కడ ఇట్ ఈజ్ ఇంక్రీజింగ్, అవునా, డాంపింగ్స్ ఇంక్రీజ్ అవుతున్నాయి అంటే మీ సిస్టమ్ ఏమవుతుంది, అన్స్టేబుల్ సిస్టమ్ అవుతుంది. ఓకేనా. అండ్ నెక్స్ట్ కేస్, వాట్ ఈస్ ద నెక్స్ట్ కేస్, you have single pair of roots on imaginary axis, single pair of roots, it is nothing but only you will have the imaginary roots. Okay, a by s plus jb and a conjugate by s minus jb. So what are the roots here, plus jb and minus jb. Okay, so now if you are applying the Laplace transform for this, m of t is equal to Laplace inverse of a by s plus jb plus a conjugate by s minus jb. Okay, a into e power minus jbt plus a conjugate e power plus jbt, that is nothing but you are having the value 2a cos bt, 2a cos bt. So this means nothing but you are having the oscillations. Okay, you are getting the response which you are having the oscillations, those oscillations are constant here. So you will say that it is marginally stable, it is not disturbing, these oscillations are not disturbing, right. But the oscillations are having constant magnitude, right. So that you can say that it is a marginally stable system. Okay, so what is the next case, double pair of roots on imaginary axis. It means if you have the repeated roots on the imaginary axis like this, if you have the imaginary roots on the imaginary roots which are double, okay, then if you are going to apply those roots here, plus jb, okay, double root and minus jb double root, it means nothing but Laplace inverse of a by s plus jb whole square plus a conjugate by s minus jb whole square. So if you are applying the Laplace inverse, what happens to the value, at into e power minus jbt plus a conjugate into t into e power plus jbt. So what is the value now, 2at cos bt, 2at cos pt. That is nothing but you will have the response, you will have the response which is linearly increasing sinusoidally, which is increasing linearly sinusoidally. So it is nothing but the oscillations are increasing. If the oscillations are increasing, what happens to the system? The system is unstable system. Okay. And next one, single root at the horizon. If you have the roots at the horizon, it is nothing but m of s is equal to a by s. Yes, only s. Okay, it is nothing but single root at the horizon. So for this, if you are applying the Laplace inverse transform, so m of t is equal to ఏమవుతుందో Laplace inverse of a by s. That is nothing but a. A is nothing but constant, right? So there will be a constant magnitude like this. Constant magnitude ఉంది అంటే ఏంటమ్మా ఇక్కడ మనకి? So you have the constant magnitude, but it is tending to the infinity, right? So now you are saying that impulse response is constant. So this is nothing but marginally stable system. This is nothing but marginally stable system. It is not stable, but you can say it as a marginally stable system. Okay, if you have the double roots at the horizon, it means repeated roots. That is nothing but m of s is equal to a by s square. A by s square. A by s square కి మనకి లాప్లాస్ ఇన్వర్స్ ట్రాన్స్ఫార్మ్ అప్లై చేస్తే ఏమొస్తుందమ్మా? సో m of t is equal to లాప్లాస్ ఇన్వర్స్ ఆఫ్ a by s square. That is nothing but at. అవునా? సో ఇట్ ఈస్ నథింగ్ బట్ ద రెస్పాన్స్ ఈస్ లీనియర్లీ increasing with time. If it is increasing with time, what happens to the system? It is nothing but a stable system. So it is not a constant. If we are not having any constant value for a particular time, it is going on increasing, right? And it is turning to infinity. So you can say that the system is a unstable system. System is a unstable system. Like this, you are going to have the roots. Based on the roots, you are defining the stability of the system here. Okay, that is the stability. So that those diagrams explanation is given here. So what we have discussed, that actual diagrams conclusions is given here. Okay, so if the roots of the characteristic equation have negative real parts, it is nothing but lying on the left hand side of the s plane. So if the roots are lying on the left hand side of the s plane, what I said, it is nothing but stable system. Yes or no? So that is the first one. And the second one, so see here, if the roots are lying on the right hand side of the s plane, రైట్ హ్యాండ్ సైడ్ మనకి రూట్స్ ఉన్నాయి అని చెప్తే ఏం చెప్పామా? సిస్టమ్ ఏమవుతుంది? అన్స్టేబుల్ అవుతుంది. సో ద సెకండ్ కేస్, వాట్ ఈస్ ద సెకండ్ కేస్? రైట్ సైడ్ సి హియర్, రైట్ సైడ్ మనకు ఉంది అంటే ఎక్స్పోనెన్షియల్ ఏమవుతుంది? ఇంక్రీజింగ్ అవుతుంది. ఇంక్రీజింగ్ అంటే దట్ ఈస్ నథింగ్ బట్ అన్స్టేబుల్ సిస్టమ్, రైట్? వాట్ ఈస్ ద థర్డ్ వన్? థర్డ్ వన్ ఈజ్ repeated roots on the imaginary axis. So that is also a unstable system, right? So those explanation they have given here. Okay, so all of you see this explanation case based on the different cases. There is a explanation here. Okay, now this is the actual explanation regarding the characteristic equation. This is not necessary for you. How you are going to write the roots of the given characteristic equation that they have given here. So already you know how you are going to define the roots of the characteristic equation. Okay, so this is the actual topic regarding the stability. Okay, so in the next class we can discuss the Routh-Hurwitz criterion. So based on the Routh-Hurwitz criterion, how you are defining the stability of the system. So what is Routh-Hurwitz criterion, how you are going to construct the Routh array. Okay, so what are the different cases for constructing the Routh array. So based on the Routh array, how you are going to define the stability, and what are the problems you have. So this is going to be discussed in the next class. Okay, thank you all of you. If you have any doubts, please raise the questions and comment your roll number in the given lecture, so that I will take the attendance. Okay, thank you all students.